Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to my deep guide. Today I'm going to be revisiting one of the important aspects of e-note taking devices. I'm going to be checking out some of the most popular devices out there and that I still have. And the main thing is going to be to compare and to see how did the writing latency change? Did it improve? Did it change at all? Or anything like that after several months that the platform has been out and about. The main purpose of this is, first of all, to see where the product stands now. And second of all is to see what kind of advancements can we expect from fresh platforms that are coming out today. So what can we hope for in the coming months? Let's check out some of these guys in a little bit more and see how do they perform now that they've had all a couple of months to mature. And let's start with the leader of the pack, the Remarkable 2. When it came out as the fastest one around, the thinnest of course, but we're talking about the latency here. And on my desktop results, it scored not the advertised 20 milliseconds, but it did score 27.1 milliseconds, which still placed it well far ahead any of the competitor devices. But there was a bit of an issue, because Remarkable 2 exhibited an issue of jagged lines. Now this thing has been covered in a lot of my previous videos, so if you're interested in that, you can check those out. But what is important to know as a backstory, at least just a short version, is after a couple of months, then a user fix or a hack came out, Funky's fix for smoothing out the lines. That fix worked, however, it was not an official solution, and it was affecting the latency in a negative way. So smoother the lines were, more latency we end up getting. It was still a very fast device, but yeah, it definitely went into 30s and 40 millisecond. Fast forward to today, and we got update version 2.6 on the Remarkable 2, which under the hood addressed the jagged lines issue. So while the jagged lines are not completely gone, they have been minimized up to a point where they are no longer such a big concern. So that's excellent, right? And then a question appeared, which was at what cost? So did it slow it down or not? And I'm very happy to say that not only did they solve the jagged lines with the update 2.6, but now post 2.6, Remarkable 2 latency on the desktop test is down to 23.79 milliseconds, which is as fast as it has ever been. So really nice performance there. Then a couple of days later, I received the update 2.6 on my good old trusty Remarkable 1. So I wanted to double check and see how did this platform, the oldie, 3.5 years old, more than 3.5 years old platform, how did it improve over time? I came up with a desktop test roughly around a year ago. So the measurements that I have for all devices, including Remarkable 1, are from a year ago. And at that time, Remarkable 1 measured at very respectable 54.2 milliseconds, which is really nice and fast. However, now with the update 2.6, when I reran the tests, the Remarkable 1 is now running at 43.14 milliseconds, which is a really nice thing to see. It makes me very happy to see that this old companion still has a lot of kick and is actually very competitive still. So that's a very lovely thing to see as well. Next, it was turn for the Supernote AX series, because traditionally A5 X and A6 X, in every test that I always performed, the latency was always identical, down to, a point of a millisecond. So the story continues here as well. Both A6X and A5 X, when they came out a couple of months ago, the latency was at around 52 milliseconds, which was really good. The platform had a couple of updates and several months to upgrade and grow and tighten up, and now it is down to 45.83 milliseconds. So considerable improvement on the AX platform as well. And finally, it was time to rerun the tests on my daily driver, which is my Note Air. Note Air, when it came out initially, it had the latency of around 49 milliseconds. Then after a couple of updates, it slowed down a little bit, down to 51.89. Nothing drastic, but it was still there. So now after update 3.1, which was a major update, the Boox Note Air is at 47.8 milliseconds, which is again the fastest that it has ever been, and it's a nice improvement to see on this platform as well. However, this result is also quite meaningful because it puts the Nova 3 color monochromatic drawing latency of, I think it's 42 milliseconds, into perspective, that it's not just a software update, it's something about that Kaleido screen and how it actually works, that the monochromatic latency, writing, drawing latency, is actually considerably faster than the traditional monochromatic devices that we see here, which is quite interesting to see as well. For me, it's a very interesting and an important analysis to see and to revisit these products after a little bit of time to see how do they perform and what does allowing the development team a little bit of time, what does that actually mean for the platform? And in the overwhelming majority of cases, in all of the cases here, it's a unanimous thing, which is allowing a platform time to grow and allowing the development team to gather user feedback, experience with the platform, and all of these things always benefits the platform in significant ways. Today we focused only on the drawing latency. That's an important one because usually people will kind of associate that with just a hardware thing and that's it, and there's nothing a software update can do, but that's not true. As we can see, it's possible to upgrade performance really a lot, and most notable one from January was Logic Paper, which went from bottom of the pack all the way up to the second place, which was an amazing achievement, absolutely amazing achievement. Another thing that I think is especially interesting to see is that the standard is shifting, the technology is advancing, the experience is gathering. So we have like maybe 2 years ago, the standard was at around 50-60 milliseconds of latency. Now at 2021, that standard has been shifted comfortably in the area of low 40s to high 40s. But most of the contenders, all of the important contenders, are in that area. Remarkable 2 excluded because it's of course in its own category, it's the fastest device there is as far as latency goes. But I'm talking about overall standard of the devices and what we what's the yardstick? What are we supposed to measure up the future coming devices and where the future devices stack up with this kind of thing? For me personally, I think it's a very nice thing to see that the standard is improving, that the things are getting faster, that the ghosting is getting improved as well, and that the e-ink technology is gaining in popularity because people are slowly becoming aware of the benefits that the e-ink display and the e-ink technology can bring to one's lifestyle. That being said, I think that the most impressive and the most important conclusion of this revisiting would be the Remarkable 2. Not only were they able to remedy and minimize the jagged lines issue to a point where it's now acceptable and at acceptable levels, but they've also managed to speed it up. So they've delivered on their platform increase in both quality and speed. And that's a tough thing to do, and kudos to where kudos is due, and this time Remarkable 2 and the Remarkable team knocked it out of the park. Really good thing to see here. I hope you liked the video and I hope that you found it interesting. If you did, please like and subscribe and ding the notification bell to get notified when new videos are coming out on My Deep Guide. Thank you so much for watching and thank you so much for the support. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you in the next video. Bye!